Well, today we learned a couple of interesting things, actually. One being that Silver Stars looks like it's going to be returning in a different kind of way, which then, I guess, kind of previews maybe some silver tournaments next year. So Silver Cups kind of make a return, which is pretty cool. We got that to talk about, plus heroes potentially being added. A new hero's been added to the database, actually, which is pretty interesting because that leads us into some other stuff with the other heroes that we're missing so far. That, plus people are not very happy about the lack of XP right now, and it's been pretty difficult to get up the levels to get to level 40 to get to the new packs, and I guess we can just kind of start there. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You could use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. Because yeah, I was seeing all over Twitter and Reddit the people who are still playing this game, which I know I kind of gave up already on this new season personally, but people are out there still trying to, you know, finish the season to get this 84x5 pack, which is a pretty good pack to start off the game with. Like, it definitely is, especially if the power curve will be slower next year. It's a good pack, which there was a new one released today, by the way, and that was in this Evo, the Club is Yours 3. I think it gives out an 83x3 tradable. That's what I think has been said. I don't know if that ends up being wrong, but it does say, I think, tradable. Was it on this page here? I think it was, maybe. It's on this objectives tab or the news tab. Okay, right here it does not say tradable, but I think in a certain language it said tradable. I want to say that was what the tweets I saw were about, so keep that in mind here. It's probably untradeable, but yeah, anyway, that came out. And then yeah, the objectives right now, not much XP. So I'm sorry if you've been trying to do this because it doesn't look like, you know, EA is going to cut you any slack on giving out XP. But let's now just go into the leaks and news and stuff. The first thing here, this just came out like minutes ago when I'm recording this. This is the FC26 World Tour Silver Superstar card design. And it looks like an awesome card design, right? Kind of looks like the old Carnival card designs. But I think what this is kind of showing and why we're seeing this right now, I believe, is because silvers are probably going to be meaning something. Because the World Tour, if you guys don't know, they added that this year where it's like every season they have like a nation theme where I think, you know, certain seasons were Spain, France, etc., and more players from that nation would be released during that season as like World Tour players. And I think that's what this is right here. Just now it's like a silver theme, so it makes you at least assume then silvers will have some sort of extra meaning because now there's a distinction between regular World Tour players and silver World Tour players. So I think what we can take from this is actually that Silver Stars in a way is probably going to be back because we're going to have tournaments probably related to silvers. And also I was seeing this today. Yeah, Pakelme right here had a silvers like trading tips kind of tweet. So shout out to him if you want to look through this. But I actually think silvers probably are going to mean something then for possibly some tournaments next year. So be aware at the start of the game, maybe spend 10,000 coins in the first week or two just stocking up on the most meta possible silvers like Dorgu, Koleosho, Doak, like all these guys. Stock up on some of these because it's probably going to end up being worth it for you. And you can probably make a shit ton of coins if this ends up, you know, being a thing one day. And it's good, even if it takes 2 months or 3 months for this to be a thing, just to have these guys in your club to all of a sudden, oops, they're 8,000 coins a piece and I have 14 of them. It's like, oh, that's a nice little chunk of change. Here's a couple more of those guys here for like evolutions too, because I'm sure there'll be silver evos then, cards that might not even be that good right now, but then will be good in an evolution like a Naby Keita or Jesse Lingard. Some of these old school guys might be, maybe have some value, same with like Sissoko. So yeah, I want to throw that out there that we did learn that just in the last few minutes here, that I'm assuming we'll probably see some more silver content in next year's game. Now, the next bit of news here is that Gabriel Batistuta has been added into the code, apparently, according to Nono Loco, who I believe has been pretty reliable in the past. This has been auto-translated by Grok. Thanks, Grok. In your opinion, Batistuta hero or icon? So I think what the deal with this is well, actually, Baba down here literally says, I personally think he'll just arrive later, like Gervinho, etc., or perhaps a hero choice that we might see later, like the one with Pizarro, because we have that Bayern choice, right? So going along with now the 3 Bayern choices and also the heroes that we have in FC Mobile that are not in this game yet, now Batistuta as well. I think we're going to see a lot of new heroes added into the game as time goes on this year. I'm guessing EA's liked the numbers behind that and that it's driven interest into the game during those times. And the reason we've not really seen this before, if you guys don't know why, is just simply because they want to save new licenses for next year's game because they want to sell next year's game. But if they're confident, and remember the leaks that were going into this year, like there were so many licenses that they gained that maybe there's some kind of change in maybe the funding they have to hand out licenses or to hand out money to get licenses. Sorry, like something might have changed here over the last year or so because there's so many new licenses that maybe they're just confident in now adding some in during the year and then having plenty still to show off for next year. So Batistuta, the stats are not confirmed, by the way. There's no stats on him. So just context clues, unless these heroes are like FC Mobile exclusives somehow, adding in what we've seen so far prior to the game coming out, we should see a lot of this year. And now actually, just as we're recording this, was just tweeted tweeted out too, this regular World Tour, you know, card design, and it looks like it's going to be basically what we saw last year, just now with a silver distinction, I suppose. But this is the card design. I think we can leak card designs prior to release. If not, I might be fucked, guys. This video, you might not see this video, and EA might give me strike too, but I'm pretty sure you can leak card designs prior to them coming out. In terms of the actual game itself, I'm pretty sure you can. But yeah, okay, kind of what we expected there. Hopefully, maybe it's a little bit more interesting than last year. And also did want to say this Boateng is a concept. It's not any actual leak, and same with that Vinicius up there. So are you guys interested in silver stuff, or is that something that now that we're going to get it, it's not that interesting? I mean, the thing that makes silver content, well, what used to make it fun was that you could actually use silvers, right? This didn't actually become a thing to like FIFA 19 or 20 or 21 where you just like couldn't use silvers. They were so bad, there was no point. So maybe if silvers become, you know, fun again and usable and they're not miserable to play with, then it might be pretty fun again. But what do you guys think about silver content? Now, also, I'm sure you guys might have seen this yesterday. This was yesterday's news, but I didn't make a video yesterday. So the player of the month winner, apparently for the Premier League as well, is not getting an SBC. So we're just going to see no SBCs in August, it looks like, which could be a sign of like going along with the slower power curve, right? Or maybe they just simply don't want to release a card that might end up being pretty good too early, like a Joao Pedro, or say somehow Ekatike wins it and they don't want to make him too good or something like that. I'm not sure. They have said in the past, like we've talked about before, the graphic on the bottom said they're not going to release cards, and they release cards. So it's not guaranteed that they won't come out, but I guess every single league so far has said they're not going to get an SBC, which, what do you guys think about that? I never thought the first player of the month was ever a really big deal on the power curve stuff. I think one SBC is not going to change shit, so I would find it hard to believe it's because of the power curve. That's the reason why they don't want to release these, but I guess you just never know. Maybe they're not going to release many SBCs in September, right? Maybe they just don't want to do that, or I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but what do you guys think would be a reason, like an actual reason behind not releasing them in August now compared to doing it prior? You know, I don't really know what to make of that, but what do you guys think? And FIFA Trading Romania had a nice tweet here regarding just some early market stuff. So important things regarding starter squads. Most of you will have one pre-order icon, which will boost your chemistry. That's true. We will start with around 40k coins if you discard all packs. There's no big room for good players in each position. You know, it's like half the coins we would have gotten last year. It's very difficult to predict the price of a card. There are tens, if not hundreds of millions of cards missing due to FIFA points. I think he meant coins missing due to FIFA points. Expect many surprises, he says. So yeah, this market should be a little bit different at the start this year compared to previous years due to just less coins being injected in it right away due to the pre-order packs. And then that means, of course, cards will be rarer. So you're looking at possibly more expensive cards to start off with next year. It's going to be much different than previous years, or at least the last couple, right? Different in the last couple of years. It might be a bit different then, but we'll have to see. It might not be that much different than we're thinking, but I would guess it's going to be an at least somewhat substantial change. We do have one FC25 thing to talk about. We do have a Rodrigo De Paul SBC leak, so this is a thing that will come out at some point here if you guys care about FC25 stuff still. And this is a random point, guys. Wait, I just realized I have a different sweater on than probably when I was making this video. But I just saw this tweet and I was like, bro, if we don't see futties next year, then I don't know. EA have not been listening, because that's the most wanted promo to return. And if we don't see it next year, I would be shocked. Now, people have said before, futties didn't leave because of any reason other than like the religious stuff. A lot of the promos like that don't really exist anymore, but okay, call it something else. I don't care how you do it. You can make it the exact same thing and just call it something else. So I don't really believe that. It might be an excuse. Like EA might have actually said that's the reason. But I see people say like, oh no, it'll never come back because it's futmies. It's the religious aspect. Call it something else, but make it the exact same. I don't understand how that's not possible. Fut Freeze and Winter Wildcards, like, I mean, just, this was like maybe the best promo of all time. Honestly, futmies is up there, and it's not in the game anymore. Off of really no real reason. This one and the Scream promo, right? Is there a picture of the Scream promo? Yeah, right here. Like, the two most popular promos don't exist because you don't want holidays. I mean, come on. Just call it something else then. I don't know. I'm ranting to nobody. Like, you guys can't do anything about this, so what am I even doing right now? I don't know, but thanks for listening. Okay, let's read some of your comments now. And I did mention a little while ago, and SAS brings it up here, that I'm going to be starting a Discord, and I replied to it down here. Going to start it when the streams begin for FC26. So yes, update on that. I want to like have people that are moderating it that are also in my streams. So I'm going to like literally make it on stream one of the first days we stream. We got This Is Mark Mack. To be fair, we saw that a lot of people stayed on 24 well into 25. Those players will be more than happy to have SBCs come out all the way to the end of the game. Thing about serious Ultimate Team players is that they think they're the only people that the game should be tailored to, but EA has to consider everyone. And that's 100% true. I was actually kind of referring to like my audience. Like if you guys are still playing, probably not caring as much about the SBCs coming out right now. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, imagine they just didn't release any SBCs like in September. I mean, they just didn't release content at all. People would be complaining about that because they just gave up so early. There's still 3 weeks or 4 weeks to go until the actual game comes out. Like, they got to release SBCs all the way to the end, 100%. I mean, already they literally stopped releasing content the moment FC26 will come out. There's no more content, like, at all for the game. So there are people who literally cannot afford to get the next game. If you bought the last one on, you know, mega sale and you can't really afford 80 bucks, you know, to buy the game, like, there's people out there that can't do that. They need to keep releasing content until the end. So yes, I mean, you're 100% right about that. We got SEACE, I want to say. People don't care about losing coins if get amazing teams. I started off rubbish. Now 5 different I got 98 squads in FC25. So, okay. I saw that, and that's actually a comment that has a good point in it, even though it was, I think, some broken English. So he's saying you shouldn't care about losing coins. We're going to get amazing teams anyway. You know, right now I have 5 98 squads. Who cares about losing coins at the start? That's one point. And also, like, if you have amazing teams and your team's great, if you lose coins on it, also, who cares? Both those things are true, but coins are valuable at the start of the game, because if you want to have fun doing SBCs, if you want to have a lot of coins saved up for an SBC that comes out that you know you really love and want to do, then it's important to have that, and it's nice to have that. It's nice to have just a nice coin balance there while still having a good team. And it's also a terrible feeling when you buy a card for 35k at the start of FIFA and you check in 3 days and he's 6k. It's like, oops, my coins are gone. Now, of course, you play the game a lot, you'll make those coins back up. I mean, no problem, you're going to. But it'd be nice to not have to do that. Nice to just, you know, accrue the coins over time and not lose any, right? It's nice to not lose any coins. So that's what, you know, we try and talk about on the channel. But it is true that if you want to play the game your way, then go for it. You know, don't listen to my dumbass if you don't care about what I'm saying. But if you're like me, then hey, let's save coins from the start, right? Why not? But guys, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and I love you all. So, peace.